Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, my UniCommunity. This week, we're going to be upcycling once again. Okay, y'all. So, a little while ago, my mom brought me this chair that she found in an estate sale. And she was real thrilled to have found me yet another piece of furniture. Love her to death. Really appreciate that she does that. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, a chair. Fantastic. The heck am I going to do with a chair? Well, let's just say I figured it out. And I think I did a pretty good job. So stay tuned to see what I'm going to do to this chair. Here is the deal, y'all. I have sanded our chair down already. It's fantastic. You're welcome for skipping through the boring parts. Let me tell you a little something about this chair. This music style chair is a little out of date. So first thing I'd like to consider is removing this and replacing it with something different so we can still have that back support, considering it is a chair. I tried to see if I could take apart the chair so that we could easily remove this. Unfortunately, I'm not a woodworker, as I've mentioned, so it was a little bit too difficult, and it would have been too hard to put back together. So we're gonna see if we can just break this out. I'm so sorry to anyone who thinks this is a classic look. I apologize, but we're gonna do something cooler than it, I promise. So let's see if we can break this out of here. I'm just gonna take a hammer to it and see what happens. Wish me luck. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be too embarrassing, and hopefully we can do it without breaking any other part of the chair. Probably should have worn safety goggles. That was so easy, although messy. So easy. What we have in here is, take me as seriously as you can. What we have in here is a little notch that something would fit nicely into if I could think of something. Now, a few ideas of mine were copper pipes, little metal rods that I could cut down to size and slip in here. And I originally thought that I would have to drill my own holes, but considering this is such a huge gap, I may be able to do something like fit something inside here and then fill this with wood filler, sand it down, and it would look like there was never really a big hole there. Possible idea. We'll see how that turns out. Until then, because I'm not going to the store yet, Home Depot, duh, I want to go ahead and start painting this. Let me talk seriously to you. This is so out of character for me because I do not like painting. I just don't enjoy it. I don't think it doesn't look good. I just don't enjoy it. It's not fun to me. Kind of like resin. It's not fun, but it comes out really cool if you could do it right. And I'm not just gonna paint it, okay, like I did the last project. I'm going to do our classic furniture upcycling technique of chalk painting. Why am I gonna chalk paint it? Because I happen to have chalk paint, and I have a color scheme that I think would work for this. In case you couldn't guess already, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our leftover fluffy white fabric from last time, and we're going to use that for our seat cushion, which you don't see here, but I'll show you in the future. So I have folk art home decor chalk paint in Parisian. Actually, one of my pet peeves of watching YouTube videos is when people are doing how-to videos and they don't know how to pronounce stuff. Now I get why they don't know how to pronounce stuff. Anyways, Parisian, gray. You get it. Parisian. Anyways, moving on. So we're gonna use this, and we're gonna try to go for a distress look. So let's get to it. We're gonna paint this. Why would I paint it before I do all that work? Because I'm not going to the store yet. And I'm gonna paint everything else except for the parts here. I need a paintbrush. I'll be right back with a paintbrush. And I just have a little 1.5 inch brush here. I know there's some fancy chalk paint brushes and all that good stuff, but your girl's on a budget. And she doesn't like painting, so why would she invest in painting stuff? Okay, I'm gonna just apply a liberal amount, I suppose. Oh yeah, here we go. I know this is what everybody wants to see. Okay, this is a lot lighter than I remember it being. Okay, our chalk painting is pretty much done. Next, we just gotta let this baby dry. We gotta sand it for the distress look. And while we wait for this to dry, I'm going to do some research about what we can fill in these gaps to create back support. Exciting stuff. First of all, my apologies to any continuity fans out there. Somebody took their shirt back, so I'm improvising. Unicorns, it's black, you get hit. We're gonna move on. Our chalk paint is dry and it feels disgusting, so that's fantastic. And now it's time to address this back support issue. So now that I hammered out that wooden piece that was in here, I figured that we should fill it with something a little bit different. So I went to Home Depot, my favorite place, and I found these cheap aluminum rods that are 1/4 inch thick, which are easily cut with a hacksaw. Also from Home Depot. So I went ahead and I cut the aluminum rod into 3 pieces, which are 9 inches and 3/4 long, because that is how long the gap between the bottom of this hole to the top of this hole is about, with enough wiggle room to be able to slide these in there easily. So I'll show you. So just at an angle, you can slide it in. Boom. 1. There's 2. And there's 3. So I think 3 is enough. I could do more, but if I only do 3, that means I can return this extra one. And I love that. Unfortunately, because our chalk paint is such a light colored gray, we can't leave these rods their natural gray color because that just looks dumb, in my opinion. So I went ahead and while I was at Home Depot, I picked up this cheap white spray paint, quick color. It was like 98 cents. And we're gonna spray paint those rods white to complement our cushion. So let's do it. While we wait for our spray paint to dry on those rods, I think we should go ahead and give this distressed look a try. I'm a little bit nervous, but worst case scenario, I just have to repaint over whatever I sand off. And because I'm nervous, I'm gonna use a low grit sandpaper. This is that sanding block from our last video that's been used for like a million years. And I don't even know what grit it is. My technique for this is to sand down parts that would seem distressed, but not with any sort of symmetry. Are you following me? So like this seems like a part to me that would get used or abused or, yeah. So I want to sand like a little bit here to see if we can expose some of that natural wood. And this is going to take too long. I think we need to get some better sandpaper. So I grabbed this still old sandpaper, but it's 80 grit instead of what I think is like 150 or something. So we're going to give this a try instead. Oh yeah, so much better. Now I'm starting to wonder, you know, how much do you have to distress it for it to not look like you just missed some spots? So let's keep going because that's not enough. This is hard. Do you think maybe we should just leave it? That's so boring. I know what we'll do. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google distressed chair. And we're gonna look for some inspiration. So I'm gonna go to Pinterest. I wanna look for distressed chalk paint furniture. Let's see. The first thing I'm noticing is that they're doing more like the edges of things rather than like the front like I did, which is okay. That's fine. Basically what I'm thinking is we need to go just wild with this. We gotta rub the edges. We gotta do edges. Okay, I'm gonna leave this. We're gonna just leave that. It's fine. But I'm gonna focus more on the edges. So like, oh, see? Okay, I already like that so much better. Again, avoiding symmetry here. I'm gonna go like harder in some places and easier on other places. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Again, that's why you wear a dust mask, okay? Okay, I've got to go spray paint the other side of those poles, but I think this is coming out pretty well, so I'm excited. I painted the metal rods. They are now dry, and it's time to go ahead and install them into our little openings here. So my idea for this is to put them in there how I'd like them. Honestly, how cool would it have been if I got a fourth one and I turned this chair into an M for Mackenzie? That would have been pretty cool. Nevertheless, we're not gonna do that. Although, no. Then it's Mackenzie's chair. I'm contemplating it, but in the future, if I want to do that, I can do that. For now, we're gonna stick with this clean and classic straight line kind of deal. Okay, so now that they're in there, how I'd like them to be. My plan is to use wood filler. So I have plastic wood, again, from Home Depot. And we're gonna just see if we can fill in these cracks to the brim and then chalk paint over it. And I decided to use this because what were the alternatives? Glue, resin, caulk. I don't know. I haven't really worked with a lot of other things. I know that this works. Also, not really sure if you're supposed to use this with your fingers, but we're doing it. It has a very strange texture. And I'm gonna try not to get it everywhere. I'm going to try to only get it where we want it. Which is in the holes. And we gotta pack it tightly in there to make sure that our bars, our back support, isn't gonna go anywhere. This is the cushion I removed from the chair, and while some of you would remove this fabric, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna go ahead and just put our fabric right over the top of this. The same method we use for our bench, the same fabric that we use for our bench. I'm just gonna take our staple gun to it and fix it up real nice. But this time, I'm gonna learn from my mistake last time, and I'm not gonna cover the screw holes with the fabric, because the last time I had trouble getting these screws all the way in. They were getting tangled in our fluff. Go figure. So this time I've cut just barely enough to wrap around so that we don't have that same problem and our screw holes are left exposed. Okay, our cushion's done. We still have to wait for the wood filler to dry, and then we'll sand it, we'll chalk paint it, and then we'll go over with our finish. Our wood filler is fairly dry. It's dry. It's dry. We're gonna call it dry. So I'm ready to go ahead and sand this down so we can chalk paint this and we can finish this thing and take pictures of it and call it a day. So let's do it. I clean this off. I have our chalk paint ready. I think it's about time we finish this baby up. So Home Depot sells this in their chalk paint collection section in the paint department. And this is just gonna be decorative finish wax. Quite frankly, it was pretty expensive, so we're gonna give it a shot though. I'm gonna open her up, and I've watched a few videos, I've read the directions on the can, and I'm just gonna go from there. So this is what it looks like, and it says to wait for the chalk paint to dry, of course, and then use a natural bristle brush, which Home Depot had, but again, very expensive. Or a lint-free rag to apply the wax. And in this case, I'm going to use this lint-free spongy thing. Technical term. And then you take another lint-free rag and you buff it out. So, learning experience. First thoughts. Not sure if I used too much wax. Not sure if I used too little wax. Not sure if there is such a thing as too much or too little. Also, not sure how ergonomic it is to hold these things for long periods of time. So I can't imagine doing a bigger piece of furniture. Kind of hurts my hands. Also, side note, the wax might smell good to dogs. Sprite seems to like it. I think it smells good to me. I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to sniff it. Don't sniff it. I'm not sure. All that's left here is to put on our cushion, and we can call this thing a chair again. So let's get to it. Okay, to avoid embarrassment, I went ahead and I squished our cushion just right on. And I'm gonna see if I can get the screws to go back in. So basically, the problem we're facing is that our fluffy fabric made the cushion wider than what it used to be. I think that's pretty obvious for everybody watching. And it doesn't fit as flat. I'm gonna squish this on here and get it screwed in, and we'll call this video a video. What do you say? Okay, everybody, we've got ourselves a chair. We had a Harp back chair. We now have a pole chair. We had a stain chair. We now have a chalk painted chair with finishing wax over the top. What can I say? Another upcycle in the books. Sorry, but in all seriousness, it was a whole lot of fun to try out these different techniques that we did. I'm surprised by how much I actually enjoyed working with chalk paint in the past, as I probably mentioned already. I wasn't the biggest fan, but it's probably because I had never waxed it before. This feels great. If you leave chalk paint naked, don't. Put wax over the top. It's a million times more fun, okay? Also, I just want to say I appreciate everybody who watches this video. I don't know what you're doing with your life that brought you here. I don't know if you know me. I don't know if you don't know me. But I appreciate you both ways. And thank you so much for your support. I am so sorry it takes me so long to put videos out. I'm just getting into this game, and it's a lot of work. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but it's a lot of work. And your girl's a busy girl. And right now she's out of furniture to upcycle. So I think this next video should be us shopping for furniture, maybe? I don't know, not to tease you or anything, but I'm pretty sure that's what the next video is going to be, because it would be so much easier and much more embarrassing to film in public. But we'll do that. I'll do that for you. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyways, again, I hope you enjoyed this upcycling. If you have any comments about mistakes I made or things I did right, let me know down below. If you like this video, if you like me, if you like this chair, if you like fluffy fabric, and if you like Sprite, like this video. If you love unicorns and you love me and you love upcycling and you love Sprite and you love pepper, subscribe down below to this channel, because it's Unicornity Co. And it's awesome. And it's unicorns. And I don't know. This has gotten into a rant. I really should have just said thanks for watching. But now. So, thanks. See you next time. Bye. So, if we can get our chalk paint. Fuck. Okay. That hurts my wrist. Okay. We got her. This is so much more simple than using a stain finish. You know, the semi-clear, clear, satin, whatever. You get me.